Hello, I'm Stuart. Welcome to today's activity. The title of the activity is Colours, Shapes, Textures and You. And what we're going to do, we're going to produce an abstract collage that represents your thoughts, maybe your feelings, your emotions, colours that inspire you, so inspirations from outside, from inside, and then we're going to create this collage. So what we're going to need for this is a scissors, a pencil, maybe a pen, and I've actually got some sheets of foam, coloured foam, that are quite inexpensive really, but they're actually very good, and tissue paper, coloured tissue paper, again is quite inexpensive but very versatile and great to use. Now you can be I'm actually going to be using an A3 pad. The paper's fairly thick. We're going to be using glue, so it may wrinkle a little bit. So what I would recommend is you can use anything really. Part of a cardboard packaging box, it's a card, and I've actually found a fairly big piece of card. And we're also going to need some scraps and offcuts. So what I've done, my recycling bin, I've found some packaging, different colours, again colours that inspire you. So if you don't have any foam or tissue paper, we can use colours to cut our shapes from and apply them to form our collage. So also the textures. So I've actually found some corrugated cardboard here. We can use anything, envelopes, different textures, packaging. I've got some foil here, again it shows a different texture, different shades, egg carton and pieces of card, and I found some string as well. So anything that really accounts for textures. The colours are going to be represented by using the tissue paper and the coloured packaging. Maybe just sketch something out, quite abstract really, as a start. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build this up in layers. So the beauty of tissue paper is that you can use that as a background, and that's what I'm going to do. You can either cut it or tear it. I'm actually going to tear it. So I'm going to select some colours. Start with this red, and I'm going to start to tear some shapes. It can be quite rough. If you want to cut them neatly, you can. So let's cut triangle, and think about how the colours make you feel, and the colours and the shapes. So let's start off with that. I'm going to then choose some foam sheets or packaging. Again, I'm going to start selecting some shapes. If you're not too confident about doing a circle, maybe just sketch it out, use the bottom of a jar or something, just to identify the shape. So I'm going to be doing a circle here. If you want them really accurate, then by all means use a compass, or like I said, just draw around something. But the idea of this is to really be quite spontaneous, and select your shapes quite randomly. I'm now going to start thinking about some texture. So with this, again, I'm going to start cutting some shapes. Again, I like this because of the texture. It's quite rough. I'm going to use some more tissue paper to create a background. This is quite good fun really as well. And again, like I said, be spontaneous. Just, they don't have to be accurate. If you want them to be accurate, then by all means use a ruler and cut them with straight edges. I want to start bringing some colour in here, and I'm going to show you how we're going to layer this. Just choose some different colours. Again, this will form your background, and I'm going to show you exactly how this is going to work. And I've just sort of randomly chose some colours that actually inspire me. Okay, keep them quite random. Okay, so these are some of the shapes that I cut earlier. I showed you as an example. What we're going to do is we can start creating a background and build this up. So I'm using glue here, but I find PVA is quite a good medium to use. Again, it's very versatile. So to create my background, I really want to use the glue just to create a surface. And if you've got a brush, a little bit of water. Obviously if you're using paper, don't use too much water, because obviously the paper, it will just wrinkle. And just spread it out a little bit using the water. Again, just keep it random. If you find there's areas you want to specifically glue down, then just apply the glue to those areas. So you just layer it down. You can be as accurate as you want, but I do feel that this is about spontaneity. So just lay your colours down. If you want to fill in the areas completely, you can. And tissue paper is really good to use anyway on its own. As you can see, you can create an image or a picture, a piece of artwork. Once you're kind of satisfied with your background, I'll show you how we're going to move forward. And try and balance your colours out so you add a bit of contrast as well. Just go there. And you can kind of see just an abstract forming on its own just by using tissue paper. It's a great medium to use. I use it a lot. So once you're happy with that, then again just moisten the brush and just go over it. And when you're satisfied, you've started to build up your background, as you can see. You don't have to fill the gaps, but I like to fill up as much as possible. And again, all I've been doing has been dipping my brush and very lightly dabbing. And what will happen also, if you actually work on a piece of tissue paper, the actual colour dye will actually come out. So as you can see, the layers started to appear just by overlaying the tissue paper. So that really forms our background. Again, it's up to you what colour you use. Just enjoy doing that. You don't have to let this dry, but don't saturate it if you're using paper. We'll dry. The next layer is about colours and shapes, and I'm going to be cutting my shapes using this foam, but you can also use your recycled materials, and this will add depth and texture. And just decide where you want these shapes to go. So you can see a layer starting to build up just by applying shapes. And obviously if you use shapes, the bigger the shapes, they're gonna cover the background. But in actual fact, this is about, the background is a background, so this is about your colours and shapes. So So again, I'm just using the glue. You can use Pritt stick and just decide what areas you want to leave exposed. But just enjoy cutting these out and playing with the shapes. And I'm just using a series of colours and shapes. So if you know where they're going to go, again you can just apply some glue directly to the areas and just apply them. And let's have a little circle. You can see the image is starting to appear. So by building up a layer, we've now gone on to our colours and our shapes. If you want to put colours onto colours, then you can do that. Just add a little bit there. You're starting to create a lot of texture in itself just by building up layers. So now, as you can see, by cutting shapes, we're now building up some quite strong layers. You can see that? That's coming together. And what you can do, if you actually just moisten your brush, and you can apply the glue onto the page and just keep working over the foam, because it'll dry off and it will seal it. So as you can see, just shapes of any description, shapes that actually inspire you. They can be quite random. So we're building up this layer now of colours and shapes. So let's think about some textures. I've chosen some of this corrugated card, but again I'm just going to use pieces, and I'm going to just select little areas. So this is about a texture. And this is my representation and my interpretation, but yours could be completely different. It's about you. So it's your personal representation. And again, if you just layer some glue over your page, it should just apply and just lay down onto the paper. As you can see, I've used foil, just applying it to little areas. And you can see this image just building up layer by layer. And just keep applying the glue, building it and building it. So I'm just continuing to build up the texture layer. I've added some string, some more tin foil, some plastic, some various offcuts from my scraps. And just keep adding your textures until you're satisfied with the texture layer. So colours, shapes, textures, and just keep adding to it until you're happy with what you produced. So I think for me, I'm happy with that. So it will dry off, just light flat. There we are. So this is my abstract collage that represents my thoughts, feelings, emotions and inspirations, and I've used colours, shapes and textures to represent that. I hope you've enjoyed the activity today, so maybe give this a try at home and have fun doing it. So thank you so much for joining me, and look forward to seeing you all very soon for the next activity. Bye for now.